My name's Dave Herrington. I'm the general manager of the Village Pub. I opened it in October of 2022. In October of 2023, I left, decided to come back in October of 2024. Kind of inked the deal on the Monday, thinking I'd walk into a turnkey operation, all my staff's still here, everything's great, and the hurricane hit that Thursday. So suddenly what was just walking back into a job I was very comfortable with, very familiar with, became we had 3 feet of water, some destruction to our equipment, to the garage door there, and so it was all of a sudden a very different assignment than what, I don't regret it. I love the pub and I'm glad to be back, but it was about 5 weeks of serious cleanup. And even once the water's gone, which it recedes on its own, the mud seems never ending. You pressure wash, you scrub, but eventually the silt continues to settle and you're finally just mopping small areas, with a hand mop and bucket. I had a great team to help me, which is kind of the wonderful stories of this, sort of a silver lining style story. I put it out on Facebook because my staff's gone. 2 people remained to help me clean up, and a guy named Arnolfo Obrego answered, and he said, I've got some buddies, and they all came in, and their work ethic and their effort was so impressive. I found out that Arnolfo had been the kitchen manager of the cantina, which is not returned. And all the guys helping him were his kitchen employees. So now they are my kitchen staff. And I just couldn't be happier because I lost every last member of my kitchen. They moved away. They, thought we weren't going to be able to reopen. And so, I was trying to reopen a restaurant with no kitchen staff, and these guys, it's really just kind of a remarkable story that all worked out. Because I just hired them to pressure wash and scrub and mop, but now they're back there putting out great food. It was horrific. Not just Biltmore Village, of course, as you guys know, our whole, beautiful area, but Biltmore Village was really, just slapped around. And we're very lucky. The construction of this building, it's brick and concrete, it's an old warehouse building, and there wasn't drywall and all that some of my neighbors have had to do. That's a major undertaking. You're pulling all that down. It's almost like you're building a new building. Really, if you thought about it, it was overwhelming. FEMA gave me a hotel room in Hickory. So I would come clean here all day, drive to Hickory, and it wasn't that my house was destroyed, I just didn't have any water or electricity. And so that's not fun you guys probably experience it. It's just not fun to go to after the end of a long day's work. We were in hazmat suits and stuff. And I was driving back and forth to Hickory for a little while, and then finally I said, that's cutting into my time to be here and do work. So I started staying at my dark, no water house, and there was a lot of people that reached out. Wicked Weed, let us come in there and use their Wi-Fi, and you could get clean water everywhere. So some of it was so heartwarming, but the destruction was so devastating. It's so promising, and there was a time I think there wasn't a lot of encouraging signs. And I can tell you just within my 4 walls, I have made regulars because they live right up here and they don't really have anywhere else to go, nothing else is open, and now they're here, 5 days a week. And I'm sure many of my other, colleagues in this business are experiencing the same thing, and they appreciate us so much, And you always got to do a good job. You got to put out a good product. Services got to be prompt and friendly. But it's like they appreciate us just for getting back open. And we never had that before. It was just another restaurant. And so I have no question this community will be back. I think the time frame's up in the air, but I do believe it'll be quicker than what we all first thought when that hurricane left town. Continue to come out and eat and drink. You don't know how many people that helps. And I'm not just talking about, from a profit line. I've got employees that are relying on you. Everybody in this town does. So this town has always been very good about supporting the restaurants and the breweries and the bars. And don't stop. Please don't stop.